Welcome to a special episode of the Maverick Makers Podcast. Please note that this episode speaks about addiction and suicide. After a long and hard road battling personal demons, beverage maker Kirk Buxton has learned to trust his gut. Kirk is the founder of Kirk's Probiotic soda, formulated to taste great while providing the microbiome boosting benefits of fermented kefir. It all started 6 years ago with $100, enough to buy jars at Ikea and fill them with a brew made in his home, which has grown to a business that's expected to do nearly $1 million in sales over the next 12 months. After years of heroin and fentanyl abuse, on the evening of March 10, 2017, Buxton was determined to end his life. Driving along the Sea to Sky highway, he took off his seatbelt and sped into a wall of solid rock. He didn't die. Instead, he was given a new lease on life and a new purpose by helping others with gut issues and recovery. This is a transformative episode, and I can't wait for you to have a watch and listen. I'm thrilled to have Kirk Buxton, founder and CEO of Kirk's Probiotic soda, on the show this week. He has a transformative story of how he started this amazing company. There was definitely a why behind it. I can't wait to get into it. Welcome to the show, Kirk.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, what an amazing product. Love it, and we'll talk about it. It's awesome, and I can't wait for it to come to Ontario. Like, I'm waiting with bated breath right now in Vancouver, BC, or BC surrounding area. And I think people are going to be thrilled once they try it and hear the story behind it. So let's start, and I'd love to ask you, what qualities do you think a Maverick needs to have?
That's such a good question, and I think, obviously when you think of Maverick, always the first thing on my head, growing up in the Tom Cruise era, I'm sure a lot of people identify with that. And, beyond that, it's like, I think in a Maverick, and everyone might see it a bit differently, but like me personally, it's kind of like there's the rules and there's going outside the rules and being willing to take those calculated risks. And are you willing to do it and be brave enough to like walk through that, take whatever's going to come with it? Because in your mind, vision, you see that there's a limited possibility on our side of it. So it's kind of like that risk taking, quality, and looking for a positive impact as well, because we're doing something good with that vision.
Amazing. Do you think that you can learn how to be a risk taker or a maverick, or do you think that's something that you're born with?
Well, I can speak for myself, and I definitely know I was born with it. Could it be developed? Like, I don't know. I mean, I've always kind of been, since even as a youngster, it's like, if there's a rule, I'm bound to break it because I need to know what's on the other side. For some reason, it's just exciting to me. It's interesting. It's explorative.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that the other day to my children, telling them in a nice way how I used to get in trouble in school often.
You do, eh? Yeah.
So let's talk about your story. So from being on the streets to finding your purpose through Kirk's Kefir and Kirk's Probiotic soda.
Yeah, so being on the streets off and on, dealing with, I think from like about the age of 26 when it really started was, addiction to heroin, falling into the drug culture and, being, like you say, a maverick in the wrong direction. So, there's police, there's all kinds of problems. I want to stop using drugs. I can't stop using drugs. And, over a period of basically 20 years, in and out of treatment centers, recovery houses, and trying to stop moving around, seeking medical attention, psychiatrists, psychologists, opioid replacement programs, It was just a vicious cycle. And, it went on for, like I say, like 20 years pretty much. And, I could get clean for a period of time. So around from 26 to 30, it was a nightmare. And at 30, I was able to get clean, and I went to a treatment center. And for like better part of like 6 years, I had a good life, and I went back to school and ended up working on tugboats, good tugboat captain. Things seemed good. And then I just stopped doing the things that sort of that help me stay clean, helping people involved in the recovery program. And then back I go to addiction and back into treatment and spending my savings and investments, selling everything, and ending up homeless and broke again. And at a point to it, when you're now, if we fast forward, I'm like 44 years old. I'm running out of money. I have a job, but I'm not going to work anymore. They don't want me there anymore because I'm using the work. And, I'm thinking, like, I don't have it in me anymore to go back to the homes, like being on the street, stealing, doing what I have to do to run a habit. That it wasn't appealing enough. So my only option at that point was like, I'm going to end my life. I'm going to put an end to this misery because I don't want to be addicted to fentanyl or heroin anymore. And, with intent, I drove my car into a rock wall on the Sea to Sky Highway, heading up to Whistler. I thought I made a real good, valiant attempt at that. I took my seatbelt off and made sure that, and I was like, in my mind, I'm like, these airbags, I hope they don't deploy that fast. Really conscious of trying to do this well. And anyways, I raced into the wall, I'm speeding my car, and I think I'm passing over, and I've actually died because there's this whiteness, there's this peace, there's total silence, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is pretty peaceful. I'm dead. And then there's a big smash. I hear a smash. I feel some pain, and I'm like, I can hear the tire whirring next to my ear. So I'm in the back of my upside down in my car, back seat. And the irony of all of this is that I realize I'm still alive, and I'm pissed off because I got to face all of this. And the first voice I hear is, I'm a local nurse. Are you okay? And the second voice is, I'm a local doctor. Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not dying today. And so I get rushed to the hospital, and they put me there. I had a broken neck. Then they put me on secured art up into the mental ward. And there's just a moment in there where, my mom arrives. She's there, and she's got my insurance papers, and she's trying to put my financial life together, like Kirk needs to fund all of this that's about to happen. And historically, I probably would have just been pissed off and be like, get out of here, leave this alone. I don't want people around us. In that moment, I just made a decision, and I saw what she was going through with clarity, and I said, like, Mom, like, how can I help? And I just got involved with the paperwork. So I'm in the hospital bed, and so I just made a decision then and there. I was like, I'm going to commit to like change. So I did, and then I went to treatment, and then there I learned how to stay clean again, and community and some values. And it was just about me saying, okay, I'm going to give this a shot. And it ended up working out pretty good. And then the company, and then so I go through there, and I end up volunteering there for 6 months. I'm in a bankruptcy, so I actually maxed out my credit cards to pay for what I could. And so I go through bankruptcy there. I volunteer there, end up getting a job there. And while I'm there, I have a little sandwich business. So people are transitioning back to work. They don't want to make their lunches, some guys. So I made their lunches for $5. So I had a little bit of income. And then I started a little meal prep business. So I was making meals, and they were letting me use their commercial kitchen at the facility. I had a job there. So I had this business and a job. And then the gut health things start to come up, and I started making what was then a water kefir with no name, and then we called it Kirk's kefir. Doctors were trying to like remedy my gut, and they couldn't because I was chronically bloated. And so this was the solution for that. My bloating was gone from the first batches that I made. And then a couple of girlfriends that I had that were currently buying meals off me came by one day and I said, hey, want to try this drink? And they loved it. And they're like, can we buy this from you? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I started making it, and then they just started buying everything I was making. I actually, in the beginning, had to figure out how am I going to keep up with this, because they were ordering quite a bit. And so the business kind of started from there. It wasn't anything I wasn't set out initially to start a business. I just initially set out to let's find a natural cure to this problem I have that, traditional medicine isn't helping at all.
What a story. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. And I think you got your, I guess, restart on life and your true calling, that it all came together, right?
Yeah, it did. And it was, and I look at it now and I remember living in it. And I remember a moment, because I had no car. I was living, the treatment center had transitional living. So I had no car. I was still in the bankruptcy. But I remember so I used to, when I first started selling it, it was in 2-liter growlers, big glass jugs. And I had cooler bags full of them. And I was actually taking them to the staff there, because they would buy them every Friday, and they would have these staff parties, because they just loved it. So that's what they did. And I remember running these and walking them, because they're pretty heavy. And it was sunny outside. And I remember thinking to myself, this just might be the happiest time in my life of doing this, and really appreciating that moment for simplicity and the joy that it was bringing to other people's lives and mine, and seeing that. So it was very rewarding right out of the gate.
And amazing that it helped cure your gut issues. Like, that's huge. And I'm sure all the drug use and whatever else probably had definitely an effect on that. So I think that's amazing. And most people, if you would do a brief survey, have gut issues. So I think
you're right. And I started digging into that, and it's about a third of the population. So we have in Canada 10 million people with either bloating, heartburn, diarrhea, constipation, acid reflux, and it goes on. So there's a lot of people suffering, and nobody has been addressing it with a natural remedy that could stop it and also prevent it from happening. And so that's really what the mission is now. Let's help people, and let's do it like this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I love that it's a natural solution, because again, you can go on prescription and then it causes some other ramification. So
yeah, exactly. All the side effects.
Yeah, definitely. And why are you so passionate about helping others with gut health?
Yeah, I wonder, it's just inside me to do this. And the greatest reward is when somebody has a problem and you help them solve it, and they share that story, and that's the inspiration, that's the moment, that's what gets me through each day. And then people come to the facility, or I meet them out doing demos. They call me, they email me, and it's just absolutely amazing. So I think that's what inspires me. Another part of it is having lived the life I lived and the lifestyle that I had, it changes. So a lot of that just wasn't positive to the world or conducive to being part of community, helping others. So let's do that now. And I feel a responsibility, because other people help me put my life back together. So let's contribute something really positive.
Is it that word purpose for you? Is that what it is? Is that what you got?
Yeah, I would say it's purpose driven 100%. It's in my heart. And it's just like a driving force, and you just can't put to sleep.
I totally understand. And tell us how gut and recovery are connected.
Yeah. part of it in my recovery journey, it's putting the spirit back together and feeling whole and connected to oneself and the people around you. And in discovering that there's a misalignment with the gut and it's discomfort and there's a lot of research suggesting, both, how it could relate to like mood disorders, and there's so much science to it. So I think that it can help in terms of like balancing it all out, because there's more than just there's our mindset, there's our physical body, and then there's the internal things that are happening in the gut. And when you have like a lot of gut discomfort or problems, it's definitely going to have impacts in other areas of your life. And for me, feeling bloated all the time, like I didn't like walking around like, why am I always bloated? This is uncomfortable. And I'm always sucking my stomach in because it just wants to like explode out. And long term, what's going to happen there? So, recovery is about community and longevity and being healthy and making changes. And so let's not leave that unaddressed as well, because if I have a low mood associated with my gut, let's do what we can to sort of get my gut healthy and see if that impacts it.
Absolutely. Well, they say that all diseases actually start in your gut. Like, that's what they say. So, and it's so funny because it reminds me of, this is like connected also, as my grandmother always used to say, it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. So in terms of like stress, or, it's like, again, I think it's all interconnected, because you can live a very healthy lifestyle on the opposite spectrum. But if you've got trauma or issues or whatever it is that's bothering you and it eats you and you don't fix it, it ends up in your gut, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a really amazing saying. And what message do you have for those who may be down on their luck, may be suffering in some way, or may even be an addict?
Well, what I found what worked was like, you got to ask for help. Firstly, okay, so people can't always see that somebody is struggling. We're really good at masking. Addiction and drug use becomes, for some people, they can hide it really well. So they're suffering in silence, or they're drinking in silence. Or maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just mental health issues where they're struggling constantly with just positive thoughts or negative thoughts. Yeah, I think having positive thoughts wouldn't be a bad thing at all, but those negative thoughts that are self-defeating, and you got to talk to somebody about it, and then, just get some help, like ask for help, say, this is what's going on. And there'll be a community of people somewhere who have gone through it and have come out the other side. And they were probably likely bonded and spend time together and will be happy to have you in their community. And there'll be nothing more than they would love to help you suffering. So reach out and express what's going on.
Yeah, and I think it's exactly the story you shared, that the struggle, there is struggle, but there's also, through that struggle, there is light at the end of the tunnel or there can be. So to always think about, there's always a different outcome.
Yeah, you don't have to give up. Like,
exactly.
Give it a shot, right? Exactly. So.
And who inspires you?
Oh, I was thinking this is such a good question. And I really had to think and to answer. The one guy that inspired me was a guy named Freddie Steinbeck. He plays for the Texas Longhorns, a football player who ended up getting bone cancer. And he lost his leg. And so I watched the movie about him, and he just had the most positive attitude. And like when I think about his story, it just like grabs me from the inside. And no matter what was going on, that guy just like persevered. And it eventually cost him his life at a very young age, but he had such a profound impact on the people around him. They have a statue at school for him now. He was just that impressive about humans. So, yeah, he's really like the most inspirational human.
Yeah. Amazing. I'll have to look him up. I don't know his story, but I'll definitely have to look him up. And tell us a bit more specifically about Kirk's probiotic soda. So what is it? What are the products? What can people expect?
Oh, yes. Great. I love talking about this. So like Kirk's Probiotic Soda is a fermented living beverage. It's made with water kefir. That's a ferment that we do. And the benefits of something, let's talk about like attributes. So in there you get, when we ferment it, we give organic sugar to the kefir culture. It eats up that organic sugar. And then you get this, the byproduct is CO2 that naturally occurs. So you get an effervescent product. And it's making probiotics, multiple strains, gut beneficial yeast, vitamin Bs, electrolytes. So you get this host of beneficial bacteria in your gut that all needs to be there. And I think that's what makes it so unique and why it's able to impact people so positively. We currently have 4 flavors in glass bottles. We have like a lemon mango, watermelon lime, ginger apple lime, and our best seller, which is the blue raspberry. And we also add a bit of carbonation to the drinks as well. We also just recently launched, so now we have probiotic shots. So these are daily probiotic shots. Just launched them, I think. So these are them here. These are the ones that we're going to send you. So the daily gut shots of the fermented product without any flavoring at the moment. So we get it, we ferment it. It's natural the way it is. And then we can put these in little bottles and we sell these. And we really want to do this. So this is really affordable option. And we can ship them everywhere.
Love it.
Super excited to do that because it's really challenging to do like direct to consumer with that. And then we also have a shelf-stable prebiotic drink, which is food for probiotics. And then one other raw soda. So just like in line with our other 4 flavors, only this is unflavored carbonated water kefir. We call it a raw probiotic soda.
So exciting. Can't wait to try it.
Fun.
Yeah. And what's your definition of success?
Yeah, that's great. Everyone, I think, will have their own very personal success and what it means to everybody. And I think in terms of the success for me is at the end of the day, when I look back on it all, it's going to come down to that moment in time or reviewing our life. Is that have I had a positive impact and have I made change in a good way? And that's really the measure of it. So it's not so much, what's our gross sales. It's not that. That's not measuring my personal success, dollars, the impact we have on others' lives.
Beautiful. I totally agree. And what advice, this is probably going to be a hard one, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I would say maybe the advice that was with me is just get ready for the ride of your life. I don't think I could do anything differently because here I am today doing this. So if everything's connected, just get ready for the ride of your life. It's going to be okay.
I love that. That's amazing. That's such positivity. That's amazing. And on the flip side, what would you give in terms of advice to your 100-year-old self?
Make sure you did all you could do to help people that you wanted to help. No matter what adversity you face, just keep going. Don't give up.
I love it. I love it. Are you ready for the lightning round?
Oh, the lightning round. Do this.
Okay. Amazing. Okay. Here we go. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Okay. Nature or nurture?
Nature.
Okay.
Nature, yeah.
You're stuck in an elevator. Who are the 3 people you're stuck with? And they could be celebrities, whoever you want.
Yeah. Let's go with John D. Rockefeller.
Ooh.
Chris Rock.
Okay.
And Elon Musk.
Holy elevator, Batman.
Well, we got to have a good time. Chris Rock is there to make sure we have a good time. And it's fun, right? How long we're trapped there for. That wasn't disclosed. Yeah.
Love it. This is a good elevator. Awesome.
Yeah.
What makes you the most happy?
Absolutely. Helping other people.
Beautiful. Favorite movie of all time?
Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
All,
first
all of them. Yeah,
one.
all of them. I'm just a Star Wars fan, so I'll just go with all of
Oh. Awesome.
them.
Do you know any lines?
Oh man, I'm your father. Use the Force. This is the way.
Perfect. And they're making a movie about your life. Who's playing you?
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. Great
Oh,
actor. He could
I
probably pull
love
it off. And he has the same story, similar anyways.
That's true.
Yeah.
Way back a million years ago, I actually met him.
We did.
Yeah, he's just briefly, but yeah, he's interesting. He's impactful. It's awesome. Um, what do you do on the weekends for fun?
You know, I have spent so much time working and demoing the things that I do right. Let's go to the gym. It's really, and it's not even so much to work out. Most of it's just working on like for fun. I just go there and stretch and zone out, listen to music. That
Awesome.
is big into what I do right now. Yeah.
That's great. How do you want to change the world?
Oh, it's just good. I think about this a lot, and I rarely share it because it seems so good. But I really want to offer people a natural alternatives and really help eradicate the gut problems that plague the world. Whether or not I achieve it or not, that's definitely the mission. Can we help everybody? I don't know, but we can sure make a really good effort at lowering the numbers.
I love it. Last question.
Mm.
What's next?
Oh, this is great. So the next things is bringing on the right team for the full expansion. This company is ready to go and grow. I have new products in development, and I just want to get an amazing group of people around me to help me execute that and go across Canada and then beyond. Let's get through North America and then see what we can do about tackling the rest of the planet. Who wants to help?
I am so cheering for you. I love the story. I love everything you do. I can't wait to see it all unravel, and I know it'll be a success. So thank you so much for coming on the show, for being vulnerable and sharing your story and inspiring others. And thank you so much, Kirk.
Thank you very much. So it was a pleasure. Appreciate it.
The Maverick Makers Podcast is sponsored by Maverick Makers Content Creation Collective. We fuel your content pipeline through video, photography, design, and editorial. Let's connect to your audiences and make more sales. Learn more at maverickmakersco.com.